Welcome to Crawl or No Crawl. This is Carolyn Holzman. Today is June 14th, day number 649 of this indexation research project. So I wanted to show you some things that I've been seeing in the past week or so that are interesting and might explain a few things. So I'm going to go over here. So this is a screenshot of the page indexing, and specifically looking at the last updated. So for instance, within minutes, now it's hard to capture this, so I'm showing you images that I took this morning and just sort of demonstrating what the experience is like when I was looking at them. Is that 1 minute, it would be this, I would refresh it, and it would show 6.9 as the last updated, and then refresh very quickly, and I would get 6.10. So hold on just a second. And so I also so that's what was happening, seeing those dates revolve. And hold on a minute, get back to here. And so periodically, this would happen. And so I think what I noticed was that we're no longer synced up. Like our last updated page reports are no longer all updating at the same time, it would appear. Now, this all started back on June 1st, and I was trying to document it in a way I couldn't figure out, kind of like even how to do it. So what was happening is when the page reports updates would happen, normally they would happen every 3 days, and sometimes they would update 2 days, sometimes most of the time they would update 3 days. Well, on June 1st, or I should say the 4th, it was showing me 6.1, and I would refresh, it would stay 6.1. Then later in the day, I would hit refresh and it would go to 6.2. And then later in the day, it would go to 6.3. So that started happening on June 4th. Now, if you look at June 4th, very shortly after that, we had high volatility. So what was happening yesterday was very similar in that I was seeing it go to 6.10 and then back to 6.9 and then revert to 6.10. So it was really, really strange in Search Console to see this. And this was across whether it was a desktop or a mobile primary crawler site. So I think, the data flowing out of Search Console is no longer across the board on all our sites at the same point of time, like before, right? It used to be everything was updated together. Now I'm seeing that it's sort of peeling apart, and it may be that it is doing it either by the primary desktop crawler or it might be by our Gmail accounts. I can't tell. So if you go into Search Console, go to the indexing section, click on the pages and look at the upper right. And so let me show you again where that is. So this is your Search Console, go to the indexing, click pages, and then you're looking over here. Now here's what happened this morning. I'm going to show you the same site that is hooked into two different Gmail accounts. One is the owner, one is a manager. I'm sorry, they're both owners. That's right. So this morning was showing 6.10. Everything, all things being equal. The same site on a different Gmail is not showing 6.10. So I have access, Google Search Console access into the same site through two different accounts, and they are showing a different last updated. So anyway, I'm hoping that if you look at your stuff, and please post in the comments what you're seeing, let's sort of notate this together. Now, back to the indexation report. Very good indexation rates right now. Pretty much everything it has been getting indexed within 48 hours. So I'm pretty sure what was launched yesterday, will show up later today. But I want to share something with you. I think that indexation rate goes up because the topic is remaining related. What do I mean by that? So what I mean is that the days, I think, of having these kind of sites that could handle any type of topic and get all their pages indexed, I think, are over. When you take something that is not topically related to what Google thinks your site is about, the results are very different when it comes to, and I should say serving rates are very different. I think there's a judgment that goes on between the index and the serving components of the indexation system. And it looks like it might be a topical judgment. Topical things are going to be determined by the words, right? Not just the keywords, but the entities and the other words that we call LSI, but that they don't have their own Wikipedia page, but they are related to the topic. So I've been testing since April after the SEO spring training for desktop primary crawler sites whose indexation had dropped off, being regular. Early in 2023, those that were focused, I took two of the sites. They were both desktop, and I focused each one on a general topic. One of them was business, and the other one I did SEO software tools. So once the topic was settled, the indexation and serving occurred without question and much more regularly. Now, not all topics are the same, even if our brains make the connection, because I find it super easy to cross topics mathematically, or another way of saying that, in a way that became illogical to the algorithm, that page should be served. So we've been saying for a long time that Google ranks pages. And on one level, that remains true. But I'm seeing from this evidence that they may not serve content that is off topic as Google understands the topic of your website. So for example, casinos and betting are related, right? But they're not the same. Think about it. Our brains make that connection. But casinos are all about games, poker, slots, craps, roulette. Betting is more towards horse racing and sports. There's like a little overlap, but they're not exactly the same. So as I step back a little further even from it, I think that what I'm seeing may be clues as to how the news category operates. Here today, gone tomorrow. News outlets aren't really aiming for always ranking for the same word, like a plumber or a roofer company. So I think that's also why you see there's so much volatility constantly in the news category. All right, well, that's it for today. We are looking for a Search Console update tonight. So also the next time I get on, I'll share some of the stuff I've seen in the server logs in terms of what's really great is when you have a site that you're not publishing on and you start to get rendering on it. I think that's a sign that Google is going through and pulling out and maybe rescoring some things, which could also lead to the high volatility. It's not an update, folks. I don't believe it's an update. I just think it's this sort of the changes that come depending on what they're doing. All right. Take care, and I will talk to you tomorrow, maybe the next day.